The son of the founder of that school is here with us today. Oddly enough, I didn't invite him. He just invited himself here because he is an MSU alumni who currently lives in Phoenix and happened to be traveled to Bozeman for today for his birthday. Mo Foles, would you please stand up for us to give you our best appreciation? What a coincidence. Now I'm worried because I didn't know that our collaborator is going to be here. We are MSU Food Product Development Lab, which is built on the traditional territory of Crow, Nez Perce, Salish, Lakota, and Northern Cheyenne. The lab mission is developing products healthy for both humans and the earth. Today's story is about how we, coming from different places in the world, unlearn and relearn the true meaning of value-added agriculture. I came from Taiwan, which is an island nation, 10 times smaller than Montana, 23 times larger the population than Montana. We used to be really proud of our agriculture because we grow some of the best teas, fruits, and rice varieties in the nation and around the world. However, that has been threatened by free trade agreements and competition from neighboring countries. So in 2011, I decided to leave my beloved home country and come to the USA to study food science and technology, because I believe that science and technology is the answer to solve the agricultural crisis. If we can add value using technology for our agricultural produce, we can make something that sells better and save our producers. The first day when I arrived at the USA, after flying 30 hours across the Pacific Ocean, I was so tired, I was nervous, I knew nobody here. I already missed my parents. At the airport, I saw this food, smells good, look good, didn't know what it is, fresh off the plant, decided to give it a try. Still remember the first time I had that first bite of this food, which later I knew it's called pretzel. It was extremely salty, unbearably salty. I stood at the airport, looking at people passing by me. I asked myself the first question I landed at the USA: what's wrong with Americans? It actually surprised me more after several months of study into sodium reduction. I realized that the people from my home country, people from Asian countries, are actually eating a lot more sodium. This totally doesn't make sense. Everything I taste here is way more salty. So I started to reflect on what makes the difference between the total amount of sodium in food versus the sensation of saltiness. If you like orange chicken, you enjoy the sweet, sour, savory, umami, a little bit salty, crunchy, sticky, flory, and everything is great. But this complex sensory sensation of so many layers of experience that you didn't know it actually has a lot of hidden salt. So that drove me to think about the difference between cultural preference of food, the culinary traditions. It matters. And that's not something necessarily technology can answer. So is technology the only tool that I need to have in order to make a good value-added product? In 2017, I landed my first job at Montana State University. My contract said that I have to add value into Montana produce to increase the profit. But later you'll hear from my student. They will share with you. The more we work with our producers, with our native communities, the more we question, what exactly is the value we're talking about? Is it money?
So when it comes to value added, I know from first level, my name is Genesis Chavez and I am from Nicaragua. I country located in the heart of Central America. The first time I met my advisor, Dr. Kuo, she asked, what are the indigenous food of your culture? So I passed and I told her, let me talk to my grandma. My grandma makes the best tortillas, and for you to make a tortilla, you have to go through 6 steps and spend about 10 hours. This is how vendors make tortillas in a local market. They only earn less than 3 cents per tortilla. So, for many years, I noticed that vendors experienced several challenges due to the lack of infrastructure for food processing, storage, and distribution, thus threatening consumers' food safety and the economic resilience of the local food market. While living in Montana, where I'm conducting my graduate research, I noticed a similar situation occurring at the Flathead Reservation. These communities experienced several unique barriers that inhibit sustainable development and food access. Therefore, our lab partnered with the Native Fish Keeper Inc., a tribal nonprofit working to preserve native fish by harvesting invasive lake trout species and selling those fresh frozen fillets across Montana. Thus, we partner to combine food science and traditional knowledge to develop 2 smoked lake trout products to add value and further offset fisheries cost. These products are being developed not with profitability as its first priority, but rather with cultural, ethical, and environmental values defined by the community. You don't put a price tag on a bison because it is a human, a community member expressed during a focus group discussion. The global food system has failed to account for the true costs of industrialized food production. Therefore, it is critical that we not only support local resilient food systems, but we also support and empower indigenous communities who are integral to the health of our planet. Worldwide, indigenous people represent 5% of the global population, and yet they store 80% of the remaining global biodiversity.
80% of global remaining biodiversity? You might ask, so what? My name is Edwin, and I'm from Ghana in West Africa. The northern part of Ghana grows pulses, such as bambara beans. These beans provide great nutrition to our children. But now, they are going extinct. 41% of children in West Africa are suffering from undernutrition because of this. In 2018, I joined MSU and started a partnership with Senegalese smallholder farmers. They told us, we used to harvest gum from the forest for our children, but the forest has become farmland. Now we ride horse car for 4 hours to get imported gum. This is why I came to the USA. I want to learn value-added processing to protect our crops and to improve nutrition. So with the Senegalese farmers, we developed a children's nutrition bar. The bar has baobab fruit, which is indigenous to West Africa. Baobab means tree of life, and baobab offers vitamin C, folate, and fiber, which is critical for children's growth. Baobab trees are wildly grown and cannot be domesticated. So to maintain the nutrition bar production, we protect baobab trees. The nutrition bar was named by the women farmers as Bonbon which translates as Baobab Delight. Initially, when we asked the women farmers to name their nutrition bar, they said, women don't name things. Women in West Africa are the value-added force, but they don't have economic equity. I have passed this project on to our new lab members who are working to support the women farmers to begin an enterprise.
My name is Sage Stevens, and I am one of the undergraduate members on the previous project. And so what drew me into this project particularly is the emphasis on women's roles within both indigenous food systems as well as empowering women through their roles within that system. And so this was their previous bakery essentially in the village, and it was used by all the farmers, but it was also owned particularly by the male leaders within the community, and there was a severe disparity in the upkeep and access to it. And so now, in partnership with chemical engineering teams at MSU, we have designed this factory that is as a women-oriented, safe space for them, as well as serving as a community space as well. And within that as well, we're working to develop this business that they are owning and co-opting and promoting those sustainable food systems.
Now, I'm pursuing a PhD at MSU. My PhD focuses on how Montana can benefit from value-added agriculture. Montana leads America in pulse production and is involved in the fast-growing industry of local berry production. What happens to these crops? 85% of pulses are exported, and only 1% of farms in Montana add value to their crops. So what role can value-added processing play in sustainable agriculture? How can Montana farmers benefit from local pulses and local berries? Value-added processing creates profitable new products without requiring farmers to have large yields or to farm mainstream crops. The addition of other ingredients in product development also improves nutrition and creates a more diverse nutrient profile. In addition to dietary diversity, value-added processing satisfies contemporary food preferences and dietary needs. With this in mind, the Food Product Development Lab is using extrusion to develop lentil texturized vegetable protein, which is used to make veggie burger patties. It's using extrusion to make lentil pasta and lentil puffs. Value-added processing also increases shelf stability, which means less food is wasted. Using a freeze dryer, the Food Product Development Lab is making a smoothie blend from local berries. Growing these local berries also encourages crop diversification. All these projects can be done on a local scale. We are inspired to continue to pursue value-added processing by David Owen, the CEO of Timeless Seeds. He was asked to get big or get out, but he stayed put. He stayed small and he planted lentils. Now we make lentil crackers for the Livingston Food Resource Center for their child nutrition program. Thank you.
From a bite of pretzel to a glance of the big sky of sub-Saharan Africa, from Taiwan to Nicaragua to Ghana and to the USA, Montana. We, coming from different places in the world, have come to learn the true meaning of value-added agriculture is not just about using technology to extract the resources from our surroundings. More, it's about how we learn from the culture of our producers and community members from indigenous societies, how they have been taking care of the land for us, and try to use our science and technology combined with traditional wisdom to convert what the land has raised and grow for us into food vehicles that deliver health and knowledge to our next generations for both human and environmental societies. We have the Bonbon Bui peanut nutrition bar made this afternoon. Please try some and tell us how they taste. We have sensory evaluation. Do the survey, you get $5 gift card. Thank you very much.